Pahrum's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome to News 46, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell, and this is your Week in Review. Vendors, performers, and crowds gathers for Pahrum's first annual Black History Month celebration at the Pahrump Nugget. February is Black History Month. We're going to speak to Marvin Caperton about the event down here at the Pahrump Nugget.
Well, we're celebrating Black History Month for the first time here in Pahrump at one of the major casinos, and we're attempting to bring all the youth together and all the people so we can enjoy this culture and learn and teach each other.
What do we have going on the main stage over here? We have some performers?
Absolutely. We've got some children from the local area doing performances. We've got some praise dancing from the local churches. We've got Pahrump Valley Gospel Choir that's going to come in and do some performing for us. And we've got live reggae music with Stan Rankin T and Meshach. We also have some R&B with Kenny Flood.
Wonderful. We got some vendors here too as well.
Absolutely. Some of the nicest stuff in Pahrump we have here. So
tell me a little bit about your band.
Well, our band is originally from Jamaica. We've been playing music in the area for about 40 years now. We've had some big scenes and we've done some small stuff, but we just want to keep the culture bubbling, keep everybody aware that there is activity going on other than what we don't want to see and talk about. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, we are definitely scheduled to play for the Relay for Life. So.
May 21st, there you go, at Pentrick Park. Thanks so much for speaking with us, and thanks so much for inviting us down here.
Well, thank you for being a part of this.
Fire Chief Scott Lewis has vowed that the 4 lives lost in the structure fire on Prospector February 9th will not be in vain. News 46 sat down with the Fire Chief for an informational series of upcoming interviews. This at the request of many of our viewers.
If you're in the middle of the fire, it's imperative to make sure everybody's out, but simultaneously a call needs to be placed to 911 to get the system rolling. As long as you continue to try and extinguish a fire and that call is not made, that's called delayed notification, and with that, it creates a timeline, and we're extending the timelines for the appropriate resources to get there and mitigate whatever the emergency is. If it's a brush fire outside, every minute you waste trying to put that fire out yourself without notifying the fire department, that fire grows in size. So it's extremely important. 911 immediately, make sure everyone's safely out of the area and stays away out of the area. I can't tell you the challenges that we've faced since I've been in this town, whereas people are trying to fight the fires themselves. And then that is always where the majority of injuries occur. And it's just an unsafe practice. We understand about trying to protect property. We really, truly understand that and embrace that. But there's the other aspect of safety. And as long as you're in a safe area, then you're ensuring your own safety. But if you're putting yourself right in the thick of the business or the hazard, then you're taking those unnecessary risks.
Motorcycles, cars, trucks, even bikes, or just you and your shoes can enter the Poker Run fundraiser at the Maverick. News 46 met with Stephanie Pierce to find out more.
We are doing a poker run on March the 5th for the Smiley and Broadhead family who had both tragic loss in their families. And sign up is the morning between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. We're having a poker run to Arnie's Lounge, Sugar Magnolia, Valley Bar, Hideaway, and ending back at the Maverick with a spaghetti dinner. We will have drawings. Donations are being taken right now from the various businesses here in town. And it is $25 for a sign-up fee. It is not limited to motorcycles. You may have a car, go horseback, go jogging, bicycle, whatever. It is for a good cause, and 100% of the proceeds will be divided between both the families.
And this is all local, all the places that you're stopping. So it's going to take all day long to do this poker run?
We venture to say that they're going to return here to the Maverick between 2 and 3 p.m.
And if you don't want to do this poker run, you can join the spaghetti dinner.
Yes, and that's $5, a minimum $5 donation.
And 100% of the proceeds are going to be split amongst the families?
Yes, they are, 100%. I have children and grandchildren, and I know that none of us ever expects tragedy to hit us. But we're paying it forward, and we're making a difference within our own community.
wonderful thing. And it's really great that you all have joined together to have this poker run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful idea for all the businesses to work together.
And so for more information, who can they call?
They can call the Maverick at 751-9988 and speak to any one of our bartenders or myself, Stephanie.
Downtown Michael Brown, the saxophonist from Sha-Na-Na, suffered a huge loss when his 31-year-old wife, Amanda, succumbed to melanoma. As a result, he started the Amanda Faye Brown Foundation and what is now the Southern Nevada chapter of the Melanoma Education Foundation.
What we do is we just go out and teach middle and high school kids and give them the information that they need to save their lives from skin cancer. And it's that simple, but that important too.
It really is important. We'll talk about your beloved wife, Amanda Faye Brown, who unfortunately passed away from melanoma.
Yeah, she did. She passed away here in Pahrump, and one of her last messages were to spread the word about melanoma and the dangers of the sun and tanning beds, and that's my goal, and one of my goals in my life now is to make sure I do that for her and save lives along the way. You know, what better can be, you know, so.
She was so young. How old?
She was 31. Yeah.
And you just recently went to Rosemary Clark Middle School. What did you do there?
It was fantastic. All of the kids at Rosemary Clark Middle School were so fabulous, and they were so respectful to me, and they really got it, and they really understood. And I know that school is going to most of those kids, they're going to know what to do to save their life or someone else that they love, and that's the whole point.
Kids are so curious about this because it can be such a small clue that something's going on, and exactly. You teach them what to look out for and how to stay out of the sun.
Absolutely. Basically, it's a real simple thing. If you have something growing on your skin, like a mole or any kind of discoloration, if it starts to itch or have any pain association, or if it just starts to grow on you, those are signs that you need to go to a dermatologist and get that checked, because melanoma is one of the easiest cancers to beat if you just get it early enough. Mm-hmm. But it is one of the most deadliest once it gets to stage 4. So.
And one of the things that people don't really realize is when you do have a growth, this can actually go throughout your body. It's not just the skin that's affected. And that's what happened with Amanda, is she just had a small mole, but it had already traveled.
Yeah, it started and it's one of the A, B, C's, and D's of the melanoma awareness, and what it was looking like for me in our instance, it was like a pencil eraser on her shoulder, and we just don't realize. I thought it was a beauty mark, and it certainly wasn't, and so the people need to be aware that, see, what they see on the top of the skin is nothing compared to how big it is underneath. It's just like an iceberg. Mm-hmm. What you see on the top of the water is it's a lot bigger underneath. Well, just like that in melanoma. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so important to catch it early.
And, of course, precautions you should take in the sun.
Absolutely. Use SPF 45 or more. We want you to use 2 ounces of SPF 45 every 2 hours if you're wearing a bathing suit. We recommend that you stay out of the sun from 10 to 3-ish. That's when the rays are the worst.
And out here in Nevada, the sun is so strong. Where are you going next?
Well, I think I'll be hitting Pahrump Valley High School pretty darn soon, so watch out. Here I come.
For more information, you can go to skincheck.org. A civilian organization of the Navy League is now forming for the first time in Pahrump. Bob Pilkington from Homeland Heroes invites the public to this weekend's event at the Elks Lodge.
We're starting a Navy League here in Pahrump, and the great thing about being in the Navy League is you don't have to have any prior military service, or you don't have to have just been in the Navy. You just have to be an American who supports basically our sea cadets, our military at sea.
This is the first time here in Pahrump?
Yes.
Tell me what we're going to be doing on Saturday.
We're going to meet at the Elks, which is, I believe, 2300 East Basin. It's up past DMV. We're going to meet at noon on the 26th, which is Saturday. And then we're going to have Admiral Holmes from the United States Navy come in and be one of our speakers.
Wonderful. And a little bit more information on what the league will consist of.
The Navy League is like a fraternal organization. It deals with getting together and just honoring our military and having speakers and getting educated and trying to educate the public and working with our military to try to make sure that our military stays informed about what we're doing as civilians and what the military is doing so we can learn that as civilians.
We have the Marine Corps League here in Pahrump, right? Do we have any others?
We have the VFW, the American Legion, the Disabled American Vets, the Marine Corps League. They don't have a Vietnam Vets group here, but I think they're trying to get one. And we're having this one, the Navy League.
So the general public is invited to this event on Saturday?
Absolutely. It's at noon. Just come in, looking to have a good time and meet an admiral, and we'll have a lot of fun.
That's quite a thing to meet an admiral.
Yeah, they don't. You don't get to meet those guys very often. It's like they're almost more sparse than the Medal of Honor recipients in Pahrump.
Thank you so much. For more information, where can they call?
They can call me at 513-8628, and that's area code 775.
Thank you. News 46 reported on a rollover accident at Leslie and Vondel this past week. A press release from the Nye County Sheriff's Office updates us on the driver who fled the scene. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued an official press release regarding the February 17th rollover accident on Leslie between Vondel and Irons. When deputies arrived on scene, all occupants of the vehicle had left. Upon further investigation, deputies responded to 3391 Windsong Lane, where the registered owner of the vehicle resides. A male identified as Thomas Watson opened the door to speak with deputies. When deputies entered the house to check on the child that may have been involved in the accident, they smelled an odor of what appeared to be marijuana. Thomas admitted to deputies that he had recently smoked marijuana that day and the day prior. 42-year-old Thomas E. Watson was booked into the Nye County Detention Center and has a bail of $5,000. The investigation to the accident continues. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Nye County Sheriff's Office is still attempting to locate David Taylor, the last suspect of the 3 wanted for attempted murder. We have this report. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued a press release and has also given updated information. The Nye County Sheriff's Office previously released information about an incident on February 11th, during which 3 male individuals were involved in an attack upon a vehicle which was traveling on Highway 372 near Red Butte Street. One of the suspects allegedly threw a large rock into the path of an oncoming vehicle, which struck and penetrated the vehicle's windshield. A 20-year-old passenger was severely injured as a result and subsequently transported by Mercier to University Medical Center in Las Vegas. She was listed in critical condition. The victim is identified as Stacy Ann Johnson of Pahrump. 2 suspects, Timothy Hanahan and Kevin Hanna, were subsequently located and arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The 3rd suspect, David Neal Taylor, has not been located. Detectives are following up on several leads and are asking with help of anyone who knows the whereabouts of David Taylor. Anyone with information pertaining to this case are urged to contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. Attention, Detective Mike Eisenloffel. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Still more local news to come after this break. Keep it here.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
And welcome back. Evergreen is looking for help with raising funds for their Sunshine program. A bake sale always seems to entice people to donate.
Well, the Sunshine Committee is something we developed this year to help raise staff morale. We're raising money to do fun events for the staff. We send birthday cards to staff members. We recognize them for years of service, things like that. We have a very good staff here, very caring, very loving, and they do work hard, and we just want to make them feel good and make them feel appreciated.
So we're having a bake sale.
Yes, a good old-fashioned bake sale, homemade bread, cookies, brownies, all kinds of stuff.
So who's baking the goods?
Mostly the people that are on the Sunshine Committee, and other staff members are volunteering to bake and bring things in. And it's open to the public to come and sample the goodies and purchase the goodies, sit and have a cup of coffee and a brownie while you're here.
What a neat thing. Pahrump Health and Rehab always reaches out to the community in ways like this. This is such a great way to help you guys and help the staff here, as well as get some baked goods.
Right, right. And we will be doing an Easter basket raffle. That'll be coming up. We did a Valentine's Day basket raffle for people to purchase tickets, and it was a basket full of goodies, lots of good things in there.
I know your Easter egg hunts are legendary here. Are you guys going to be having that?
Yeah, we will be doing that, and Renee Campbell, our activities director, is in charge of that, and she is looking for volunteers to come and help. We want to make a big event this year with that, so.
How can people get in touch with Renee for that?
They can call her here, 775-751-6600, and ask for Renee, and she's here Monday through Friday during business office hours mostly.
I know that one of the things that you had for your Easter egg hunt is that it's all ages.
Yes, it's open to kids, all ages. We like to get the residents involved. They love to stuff the eggs for the kids. And so she's looking for donations of candy this year. I know we have enough baskets and enough plastic eggs. So
For the bake sale, when is it going to be held?
it is Monday, the 28th, from 10 to 4 or until the stuff is gone. So get here early. And we're looking forward to it, actually. We think it'll be a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of staff members come up and say, oh, can I bake something for it? Sure.
So if people miss this, or if they just want to donate to the Sunshine Committee, can they do that?
They sure can, and we would appreciate all of that.
And they just call here at Prump Health and Rehab for that too as well?
Yeah, they can call here and ask for me.
And once again, if you would like to volunteer or help out in any way, or even donate to Prump Health and Rehab, call 751-6600. This is Deanna O'Donnell. We'll see you here on Monday for News 46. We continue with part 2 in our series with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue's Chief Scott Lewis regarding fire safety.
It can get up to several thousand degrees depending on the fire load, the type of structure, whether there's ventilation and things like that. And when we're dealing with any kind of fire environment, it's the fuel load, it's the time frame. How long has it been burning? Is it open burning? In other words, does it have enough oxygen supplying it to have it continue to grow? Every fire, no matter what, will eventually go out on its own, and that's usually through the consumption of the fuel or the loss of oxygen, something along those lines. But as long as we're giving it oxygen, the fuel load is maintained, you're going to have high temperatures, and they're going to continue to grow. And that's where our challenges are. How can we get, it's what I described to the firefighters, it's a bell curve. And the fire starts down the bottom here, and it continues to grow until at some point the fuel load starts diminishing, or the oxygen supply, air supply, and it starts decreasing in size. Wherever we come on location of a fire is where we want to keep it. And so that's our responsibility and our job to do that. And that's why every time we go on a fire-related incident, it's a partnership with the community. Pull over for us, allow us to pass by safely, allowing us appropriate notification, good addresses, the response route, as I just mentioned, getting on location. It hinders our abilities when we get there and we have to control a scene or we have to order someone back. It takes our time, and it actually distracts us from our tasks at hand, whether it be rescue, suppression. We want everyone to be safe. The rule of the road is to pull to the right and stop. A lot of times if we're coming up to an intersection and we're intending to negotiate a right-hand turn and the vehicle to our right pulls over but they don't stop, we're still having to watch them because we need to make that right-hand turn, but they're still not stopping and allows that to happen. When we start hitting the traffic hours at Highway 372 and 160 or Basin Road, last thing we want to do is create another accident, so an incident within an incident, and to take the ability away of our response. So we're having to be extremely careful, but we need the motoring assistance to make sure that we can get through those intersections safely and to travel those routes. Now the other part of the question is, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the other part of the question that you broach is, what if it was a relatively small fire that occurred in your house and you were able to successfully extinguish it? Should you call the fire department? And the answer is yes. And there's several reasons for it. If let's say you had a small trash receptacle within your house, and you're a smoker, and you discarded or accidentally discarded some ashes in the trash can and lit on fire, you were easily able to extinguish that fire, and there was no threat truly of safety. That's the one scenario. By calling 911 and telling us of the fire, number one, we're mandated by law to report all incidents of fire that occur within the town of Pahrump. That's number one. So it gives us a record. Number two, it also gives the people a record. So let's say they want to file an insurance claim, or they want to incur some of the repairs back for the cost of the fire. That record is what's important. If they call us 4 or 5 days later and they say, I had a fire in my home, I need a fire report, we can't produce a fire report on that because we have no information to reflect what happened. It gives us it doesn't provide us the ability to go out there and investigate it and determine what happened, document it, photograph it, those type of things. So it's very, very important. And the other aspect, as I mentioned, is if it's something suspect, let's say it's an issue where some kids lit a fire within the house or on the property, it's very, very important for those notifications to be made to us, because we partner with the parents and partner with the community to try and eliminate those things from the equation that affect all of us, tragic fires and such, or fires where the kids themselves are injured.
And anyone looking for a great reason to tee off can look no further. Doug Shaw spoke to News 46 and has a perfect excuse for just that, a fundraiser.
Well, this Saturday we're going to have a fundraising event for the fire families, the Smileys and the Broadhead, and we're going to donate 10% of all of our income on Saturday to that fund. Regular green fees are $20 for the 18 holes, and cart rental is $12, and so whatever we bring in for that Saturday, we'll put 10% of it into the family.
Wonderful. So you're inviting all the public to come down to Lakeview Golf Course. What time?
They can come out all day long. There is no specific time, so anytime they'd like to come out and play 18 holes of golf at the executive course here, we welcome them, and then it's open to the public.
There you go. So for general public, do they need golf clubs?
It's best if they have theirs, but we do have clubs to rent.
Wonderful. And what else would you need?
Just a desire to come out and have fun and help the families out.
Is there an age limit?
No.
So you can bring children as well?
They could, they can bring children out. We're very supportive of the junior golf program here in Pahrump, so we have all ages that come out here and play frequently.
Wonderful. If people would like to just drive balls, can they do that? And does any of that money go to that?
We don't charge to use our driving net, and we might charge $3 or $4 for the bucket of balls, and 10% of that money will go to the fundraiser.
Wonderful. And for more information, where can they call?
They can call here, call 727-4040, speak to our Pro Shop staff.
News 46's Whitney Smith spoke to John Pollock from the Pahrump Community Library about an event you don't want to miss this next Thursday.
I'm standing outside the Pahrump Community Library where we're going to speak with John Pollock about the upcoming events. You may know John from our TV show Community Viewpoint with co-host Maria Hurst, which airs Mondays at 6:30 p.m. and Sundays at 6:30 a.m. We're going to speak with John right now.
Lots of things are going on at the library. Remember, we're here 6 days a week. We open up at 10 o'clock in the morning. We open till 6 o'clock Monday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturdays we're open till 5. Coming up, we have an ongoing venue. We have winter reading program for the kids that started February 16th, and it goes on through April 6th. Now from ages 2 to 3 on Wednesdays, from 10:15 to 10:45, you can bring your kids in, but remember a parent and guardian must accompany the youngsters at that age. Ages 4 and 5 on Wednesdays from 11 to 11:45, and then from ages 6 to 12 on Wednesdays from 3:30 to 4:30. Also, on the third Friday of the month, we have a teen night here from 5:30 to 8:30 each evening. On third Fridays of the month, when the library is closed, we're open for 3 hours. For teen night, it's for middle and high schoolers, and they have free games, karaoke, and they have pizza. And it's co-sponsored with Nice Communities Coalition and St. Martin's Episcopal Church. And remember, we have DVDs, we have VHS tapes that are free for the folks here that are in town that are registered at the library. So you could get some DVDs that are relatively new over here. We get some things that are just hot off the presses here. So you could come here and see what we have for DVDs.
For next Thursday, the Governor's Office Consumer Health Assistance is going to be meeting here. Can you tell us a little about that?
It'll be Thursday, March 3rd. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and small business owners. How will new healthcare reform affect you? If you have workers' compensation questions, and if you're having problems with your medical bills, or do you need assistance with your healthcare. Also, representatives from AARP, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, and other partner organizations will also be on hand to answer your questions. They have a phone call. Their phone number to call is 888-333-1597. So that's going to be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursday, March 3rd at the library here. And then we're at 701 East Street, right next door to the Chief Tacoma Cemetery.
And we will see you here next Thursday at the Pahrump Community Library for the Governor's Office Consumer Health Assistance. For more information, you can call 1-888-333-1597. This is Whitney Smith with News 46.
Last week's Pahrump Town Board meeting started off in the hot seat with agenda item number 2, which was the discussion and possible decision regarding moving the order of or deleting an agenda item. Town Board member Dr. Tom Waters requested the deletion of items 9, 10, and 11. Harley Calkin agreed with the deletion of item number 10 with this explanation.
I would agree with the number 10 item because today we had some discussions, and what will happen is I'm going to be looking for a public workshop that the public can participate in the town manager contract. That was my concern, is getting public participation. So that's been addressed, so I agree with number 10.
Harley Calkin continued to request to leave on agenda item number 9, which was the discussion and possible decision to establish a Pahrump Town ordinance prohibiting housing prisoners arrested and convicted outside Nye County in county-owned facilities within the town limits of Pahrump. Harley Calkin also mentioned to the board that he thought agenda item number 9 was a hot topic and that he also had some questions and concerns about that item. After the board voted, item number 9 was voted 4-1 to be removed. Item number 10 was voted 5-0 to be removed, and item number 11 also was voted 5-0 to be removed. After the votes, the public wasn't too happy about the board's decision to remove those items. In fact, it got so bad that some of the public started to walk out of the meeting.
This is an action item. You took a vote before hearing public comment. Number 2 is designated an action item. Other comments allowed under your policy.
Any public comment actually is the discretion of the chair. So by rearranging or deletion of an item, it's to the board's pleasure whether or not we want the item on the agenda.
Upon hearing public comment, you may change your mind and you may not get the vote to remove it. Some items you want on there, I'm sure some of the public would like to discuss those items have been brought up. Now, if the board sees public concern and interest in them, I think it's, as you being a representative of the people, you should. Why do we have a meeting for tonight? Here. You want to represent people?
What are we here? Oh, to order.
Any more discussion on the order of the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to remove C and D from the consent agenda.
Oh, come on.
Make up your own agenda as you go, too.
You're not representing.
We moving it?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
If you would like to see the town board meetings in their entirety, you can tune right here on KPVM to digital channel 46.4. More news after the break. Keep it here.
Parump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
The town of Pahrump is taking the helm when it comes to its future. Town manager Bill Kohlbarger spoke to News 46 about last Monday's meeting that could change our town's economy and growth.
To talk about SB 155, which is the BDR that the town board voted on, that Harley Calkin brought forth as a citizen to take over, have the capabilities of taking over planning and zoning from the county and putting it into the hands of the town.
SB Senate bill.
Senate Bill 155, Senator McGinnis sat down, listened to us, and he liked what we did. He liked the fact that we had citizen input. He liked the fact that the town board voted 5-0 to go forth with this, and so he took it and turned it into SB 155 for us. He took a BDR, got it drafted at our request, and now it's SB 155 that will be heard in front of the Senate Affairs Committee on Government Affairs on Monday at 9 a.m.
What's a BDR?
Bill draft request.
So the RPC here in town is ran by the county and seems to be a hurdle that a lot of businesses have to start up here in town. Will this make it more streamlined?
Well, let's put it this way. The RPC will be history if this bill goes through and the town decides to take it over. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. There's a few hurdles left, but we'll see what happens.
They'll be fighting this, won't they?
The county will probably be fighting us because they don't want to give over control of the planning and zoning. But my thing is, if I was a county member, it's been a headache to them, and they've been blamed for a lot of issues, whether they have or have not done something. Turn it over and see how the town can work with it.
This seems to be becoming a trend with the town wanting to take control of its own town.
Why wouldn't we? It's the right thing to do. I mean, right now you have 5 county commissioners that rule on a lot of issues that go on in Pahrump, except 2 of them live in northern Nye County and really have no ties or beliefs or investment in Pahrump, except for the fact that they take our money and spend it in Gabbs, in Tonopah, in Round Mountain.
Is this going to continue with the town board and town manager kind of looking at issues that maybe we could actually control within our own city limits?
Well, it comes from the town board, and they're the ones that hear these and create them and bring them and put them on the agenda. So we give guidance when we can, and we listen to the town board, and they're a little bit more aggressive than the past town board, and they seem to be cohesive right now, and they're moving forth.
So you're going to let us know what happens on Monday?
Yeah, we're going to go and testify. We're not traveling up to Carson City because in an attempt to save the town budget $1,500 or more, it's actually going to be video conferenced at the Grant Sawyer building in Las Vegas, which the legislation has now started to doing so to save the southern municipalities money to travel up to Carson City because it can be rather expensive.
At last week's Pahrump Chamber Mixer, Lloyd Platson, president of Nye Communities Coalition, had an opportunity to give out awards to businesses that have supported the coalition by placing adolescents into their interim positions with their companies. One of them is KPVM-TV.
And again, KPVM Channel 41 has been with us from the very beginning. That's been for 3 years now. And we're very appreciative of the opportunity to have our youth come and gain experience in TV and radio and work with you.
They're actually great if you get a chance to get with them because they can fill in a lot of holes. So appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for thinking of us.
Very good.
The Mixer also gave Vern Van Winkle, our president, an opportunity to discuss the recent Valley Focus magazine local TV guide that is now mailed to homes and on stands free to the public.
Our Focus magazine, which used to be a 32-page booklet, due to popularity of mailing, we've reduced the pages into 8 pages. It's now, this next month, it's 10 pages, but the uniqueness of it is it's mailed. Our new digital channels are throughout the community, and because of that, more and more people are asking what's on our channels because they're hooking up and they don't know about the guide that they used to pick up at the local grocery stores. So we started mailing out, and we're mailing them out to different areas. We're mailing out 4,500 of them, and we're putting 3,000 in stands, so they have both options still. But what's unique about it is that it does have our complete schedule in it from Ion Media, which is programming such as Criminal Minds, Ghost Whisperer, Without a Trace, many others, Cash Cab. This TV is a complete movie channel, 24/7. It's MGM product, United Artists. Universal Sports Network is all Olympic sports. You probably have heard during the Olympics when they talk about at national or at world competition, these or those competitions. When the Olympics come, we'll have them 24/7. And of course, our newest network, which is MeTV, which is all those original Star Trek programs that you've seen in the past, Cheers, Taxi, that type of programming is on there. We're mailing this out, good place. And the March edition, we have a 5th panel with coupons on there because we have found that people wanted to have more immediate coupon type of call to action. But you can pick these up still in any grocery store, and they are being mailed 4,500 homes.
And of course, I have that guide right here, and pick one up. It gives all the schedule of our channels, and it's really informational as well. We're going to continue with part 3 of 5 with Fire Chief Scott Lewis on fire safety.
You get dispatched for a report of an electrical fire possibly, and they believe to be extinguished, or they, I'll give you another really good example where a fire alarm goes off, and we get a call saying, well, the alarm company is called, we should cancel. Well, number one, we can't cancel because we have to document the response. Number two is we get there and there's an overcooking incident that maybe burned up the front of the stove, affected the cabinets above it. It's believed or perceived that the fire is extinguished, but we investigate fire that find out that there's actually hot embers up there still. That left unattended could lead to a subsequent structure fire.
We have the incident where mesquite trees tend to reignite, and people think that they put it out, and they have a tendency to reignite as well.
Absolutely, along the root line, under the soil. We have a number of different issues. Those fires have a tendency to migrate under what we call DUF, D-U-F-F, which is the top layers of material that accumulate over years. And it can migrate underneath there and pop up in a different area, especially on windy days like we've experienced the last 2 or 3 days.
What should a person do when they think somebody's inside the house?
It's a case-by-case basis because I understand the intent, and people have good intentions in those cases, and that is to rescue and remove someone from harm. And we truly appreciate that. There has to be a systematic method in using that, though. If you were just to start breaking out every window, what happens is, we talked about a little earlier, we can actually grow the size of the fire. It can actually make it more dangerous to the occupants if there are any in there. And as you mentioned, there's been a number of cases where we're getting reports of unknown occupancy. So their vehicle may be in the driveway, so there's an automatic assumption that the people are in there. And I can tell you, we've gone at great risk searching those properties inside and found that they were not at home.
Yeah.
So we need to try and determine to the best of our abilities the occupancy, whether it is occupied at the time or not, and whether or not, or how many people, and what is their known locations. What is the probability that they're in a specific area, because that's where we're going to focus our attention. But the house numbers are so important. Large, bold letters on the street and on the house. If the possibility of illuminating, better yet. But it's extremely important because there's so many different structures that the buildings are at the back of the property, behind tree lines, and you just can't see the house numbers. And a lot of times they're not listed on the mailboxes.
Let's talk about smoke inside the homes. That seems to be the number 1 problem.
Smoke is the primary killer. And the reason is because even in a fire in its early stages, which is called an incipient fire, creates the byproducts of that fire is what can affect people immediately. It has a number of carcinogens, a cyanide, all those different things that get into your system that can cause a very quick death. And so those are the issues that if the smoke detectors are going off, you have very little time to get people out of the house. According to Town Board Chair Mike Darby, Pahrump Valley Fire Rescue earns over $1 million a year in profit, even though they have to write off money like any other company quarterly. News 46 met with Administrative Director Tony Glines to clarify procedures.
We do it quarterly, and basically what it is it's, like you said, uncollectible. These are bad debts, invoices that have gone to collections. We do attempt up to 90 days. Actually, it's 90 plus, so it turns out to be about 110 days that we attempt to collect the debt. We send 3 invoices, then we send a collection attempt, and we make phone calls to the phone numbers that we have on record. At that point, if we still cannot collect the debt, then it goes to a collection agency. Those are considered bad debts because we can no longer collect them in-house. We also have people that have died after an ambulance transfer, and those have no estate. They leave a balance, whether it's their copay or the entire amount. So those 2 are uncollectible. We also have bankruptcies, I'm sorry. We have bankruptcies, people that file bankruptcy, and once that's discharged, it's uncollectible. So those entire amounts have to be written off, and of course, it has to go to the town board for approval.
And when they go to a collection agency, how long does the collection agency try to collect? Or we write them off once we send them to a collection agency or after the collection agency has failed?
Actually, we write it off once it goes to the collection agency. Now, if the collection agency is successful and they are able to collect a debt, then what happens is they send us the percentage that they pay because they collect a percentage of the amount. They send us a check each month for what they've collected, and what we do is we put that back on the books as a collectible debt, and then we apply the payment to that.
And with the economy the way that it is hard to collect debts. Do you see an increase in uncollectible debts?
Actually, there is a slight increase, not as much as one would expect. We have been having about the same amount, I believe, just about since I started here.
And then, as far as the town, I know that we have an older population. Ambulance services and fire and rescue are very much needed in this town. Once a person has, like, say, they can't pay the bill, what happens after that?
Well, actually, what we do is we call these people and we let them know that we will accept payments. There are a lot of senior citizens that are on a fixed income. And we offer them, minimal payments, whatever they can afford each and every month. We don't charge interest nor finance charges. We accept minimal payments from these people. Those that just can't pay and or refuse to pay, whatever the reason, then those obviously have to go to collections.
And do we talk about the indigent services and what happens there?
Yes. Now, there are those people that have no insurance and obviously need our services. And so what they do is they apply to the county for the Indigent Health and Human Services to help them pay. Once they have been accepted by them and Health and Human Services pays us, they pay us at a 40% of the bill. And so thereby what we do is we write that off as a hardship case. We don't go after the patient for the balance. And that's one of the ones that's also written off.
That's some of the monies that we're talking about. This is a normal practice for not only fire and rescue services, but for all businesses.
It definitely is. All businesses have some uncollectibles, and all they can do is send them to collections and or write them off as a bad debt.
Marketing Director Stacy Banke from Valley Electric Association spoke at last week's Chamber Mixer. She tells us about an opportunity Valley Electric Association has available to local businesses across their territory, especially here in Pahrump.
Being a part of this group means that we are offered several different programs that are available to us. There's youth programs, there's energy efficient programs, there's over actually 30 different programs under the Touchstone Energy umbrella. One of those is the Co-op Connections card. You might have heard this at other venues as well, but what we're offering is, this is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative card. It's a national card, so any of our members can take this card and go to hotels, they can go to flower shops, they can go anywhere in the United States and use this card at any of the national locations that are part of this organization. But what we like to offer locally here is for any businesses to be a part of this program. All you have to do, there's no cost to you. The only cost to you would be whatever discount you want to offer for your business. So we would do all of the advertising. We would do a spotlight on each of the different businesses in our Rural Light magazine that goes over 17,000 members. So you would get great exposure if you join this program with us. And again, there's no cost to you. We'll do all the advertising, and it's just a great opportunity. I know through the chamber they always say, keep your business in your neighbor's or keep your nose in your neighbor's business, and I think that's a perfect opportunity for you at this point to do that with this card.
And that's it for this edition of News 46 News and Review. This weekend's events include the Navy League at the Elks Lodge. Of course, public's invited to that. The fundraiser at Lakeview Golf Course on Saturday. The International Gold Buyers at the Pahrump Nugget, which are there Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So you can bring in your gold and go by and see Felix. The Pahrump Valley Speedway races at 1 p.m. on Saturday, and the Grange Service Organization event at the Senior Center at 1 p.m. on Sunday. The Sheriff DA Forum from 1 to 3 on Sunday as well at the Calvada Eye. And don't forget to stop by Evergreen for that bake sale on Monday. We'll see you next week. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Have a great weekend.